I think a lot of people, even myself, if I'm being honest, included, I was kind of thinking like, I know the Steelers they're playing good, but are they for real, for real? And so I picked last week based on what I more wanted to happen than what I knew was going to happen. And then it did happen. Steelers beat the Ravens 18-16. Their first place in the division. Big win for the Steelers. 8-2, top the division. Lamar Jackson said, the Steelers have won. I thought the stat was insane because they haven't been better than them, but the Steelers have won 7 of the last 8 games against Baltimore. Each of the last 9 games between the teams has been decided by 7 points or less. So these are close games, and the Steelers have come out on top. How do they have that mental advantage, or how are they beating the Ravens every single time? Like, Mike Tomlin, we talked about him last week. He's an excellent coach. Yeah. I mean, and two, one of the teams is we would all say is less normally talented. More talented, and the other one's less talented, but yet they've beaten them 7 out of the last 8 times.
I think kind of like what Tomlin said when he made the decision to go from Fields to Russell Wilson. That's why they pay him the big money.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right, dude. Yeah. That was one of the ballsiest decisions of the season.
I thought he was crazy. But
yo, we got to get you for that. We can't let you slide.
No. But Fields was winning too, though.
No. Yeah. I know.
Fields was winning. So, but I just didn't think going to Russell Wilson would make them a better.
Well, based on what you saw from him at the Broncos, he looked washed. He looked terrible. I agree with you.
He wasn't able to move in the pocket or anything. So.
They said yesterday, something about Harbaugh, and I'm going to mess up the quote, but, he was doing his thing to Herbert at the beginning. It's so crazy because, like, as a Niners fan, it's like you have these weird mixed feelings because you saw him do it to, like, Kaepernick and Alex Smith, but, he goes over at the beginning of the game and he hits him on the shoulder pads and then he pumps him and then he tells him, like, like, you're the best. And the announcers were saying, when you play for Harbaugh, he has a way of making you feel like you are the best quarterback in the NFL. You think some of that's happening with Tomlin and Russell Wilson? Like maybe Sean Payton wasn't making Russell Wilson. Maybe he didn't, make him feel like he was the Russell Wilson of old, but maybe Tomlin is pumping him up and Russell Wilson goes out there and he's kind of like, dude, why can't I be as good as I've always been?
Exactly.
What do you think, Chunk?
I don't think Sean Payton respected Russell Wilson, and it showed with his team.
Yeah.
I mean, there's other players that were yelling at him on the field and stuff like that, and then going to the Steelers and having someone have confidence in you probably does a lot for you.
Yeah. Russell Wilson, 205 yards yesterday, 23 of 36. He did have a pick, no touchdowns. It wasn't a crazy game, but, I mean, they didn't lose. He threw that
managed
at the end of the game.